All right, we got another developing story here. It is about Dwyane Wade, 12-time NBA All-Star guard. D-Wade nearing a deal to sign with his buddy LeBron in Cleveland. Probably no shock there, but he had a buyout, left $8 million on the table from the Bulls. From my understanding, the order went from Cleveland, OKC, and the Spurs. In that order, it looks as if the Cavs are ones who got Dwyane Wade. Now, I know that he had said, and he had talked to others, that this was about winning, a winning decision for him. He wanted to be in position to win. Let's start there. What does this do for the Cavs if, in fact, the deal is done?
I think it does a lot for the Cavs. I think if you know, a lot of people are going to look at Dwyane Wade and say he's washed. Look at his season in Chicago. But you have to factor in a couple of different things.
Say that.
I don't think they say that.
No.
I mean, he shot like 43% and didn't really put a lot of effort into defense. But that has to do with the situation he's in, right? Sure. You've got to consider motivation. You've got to consider teammates.
That's what I was going to say.
And if you look at his years, those 4 years with LeBron in Miami, and granted he was a few years younger, but the last 3 years, his shooting percentage went up every single year to the point where he was at 32 years old, shooting 54.5% from the field. So you put him with LeBron and you put him with other teammates where he can be a playmaker, he'd be more sort of pick his spots with his shots and everything else. He could be an efficient two-guard, and he could definitely contribute to a team that is finals ready.
Well, that's what it's interesting. So let's hang on that. I don't think necessarily that Chicago is indicative of the type of Dwyane that we can see, right? So he gets there. How does this look? How many touches does he get? Because they're deep.
That's going to be an interesting one. That's going to be one where, you know, LeBron's going to have to sort of go back and think about his Miami days and how he utilized Dwyane Wade in that situation, because you have other deals like, okay, let's say they play Derrick Rose alongside Dwyane Wade, alongside LeBron James a lot. That doesn't seem to be a perfect combination in terms of guys that can play off of each other or complement each other. But we saw it in Miami. After the first year, after Dwyane took a little bit of a step back, LeBron took over, we've seen that chemistry, we've seen that combination. So if they get an Isaiah Thomas back, if a Kyle Korver has a good three-point shooting season, if these things happen to spread the floor for them, they can absolutely operate together.
All right, the bigger picture is now, what does this do in terms of going to the finals and actually competing and giving the Warriors a run for their money?
That one's, I mean, listen, I don't care what team you put together. It could be the Thunder, you're putting together superstars. It could be the Cleveland Cavaliers. You're not going to favor them against the Warriors. The Warriors are that good offensively. They're that efficient. And Dwyane Wade defensively isn't going to really do much against that team. But, you know, I mean, he's been on teams that have given them problems, Miami teams. Boston maybe has figured out how to, you know, so maybe they could find a way. Obviously, they beat him 1 year, so.
You know what I think is so discouraging? Every time we talk about one of these moves being made, whether it be Carmelo, and we'll talk about that, Carmelo going to OKC, Dwyane possibly signing with the Cavs, we still say, okay, but they're not going to give the Warriors a real run for their money. Let's hang on that. What needs to happen? I mean, does everyone need to band together as one, the best players outside of anybody else on the Warriors?
No, I mean, just for this particular season, you're going to have a little bit of luck there. You're probably going to have an injury or two to deal with the Warriors. But frankly, if you get a team that just sort of comes together, that has a great chemistry, I mean, we didn't see the Warriors coming until they were there. And not to say that, you know, Oklahoma City all of a sudden is going to be a surprise team, because we know how those guys play. But we also that maybe they find some crazy chemistry. Maybe they do change the way the Warriors have to play, and maybe they give Kevin Durant some trouble. You never really know. I mean, just a matter of nobody's going to be favored against them. But
okay,
I'm not
so we'll leave it at that.
Certain.
Favored. We're not Nostradamus, but not favored. Okay, let's talk about Hoodie Melo, shall we? So, media day yesterday, lots to talk about. I want to get your biggest takeaway on or off the court.
Well, I mean, my biggest takeaway was probably Greg Popovich and his speech, whether about equality and about the current racial tone in the country. And I do think that, you know, when you look at, you remember when the football players were saying, hey, maybe we need a white player to take part in this situation. Well, look at Greg Popovich. He's an older white man with a gray beard. Like, you can't, and he's telling you things that everybody should listen to. And he's talking about it. He's running an organization. It's probably the most diverse in the league, and he brings them together, and they have regular success at a high level. This should be a man people would listen to. So, to me, that man, the more he speaks about politics and our system and our country, the better we are. Absolutely think we should all listen.
Yeah, he definitely said some very profound things yesterday, and it was like, you know, I'm at the movie theater and I was talking to the screen. I'm like, preach, Pop, go ahead. You know, it was like one of those moments. Meanwhile, OKC Melo says that someone asked him the question, so you're not coming off the bench, or are you coming off the bench? Did you get, like, who was that? And secondly, I like how Melo laughed. That's news to me. Was I ever coming off the bench? He says he's a different player. Do you believe that?
I believe he's a
Or
different
can
player.
he be a different player?
Yes, and I think that's probably the better end, right? The better question, because he has been a different player on Olympic teams. He has been a different player on better teams or with better teammates, and I do think that he can sort of fall in line, if you will, with this team. And, you know, because Paul George can run the pick and roll. Russell Westbrook can run the pick and roll. Carmelo, probably not so much. So like, make him more of a finisher, make him more of a guy that you know, catch and shoot type of guy. It's really just a matter of Billy Donovan. Like, he's got to find a way to figure this out.
You gotta.
And if you go back to his college success, he had success obviously with moving the ball, big men who knew how to play. These are 3 isolation players he's going to have his hands full with.
Listen, I was thinking that has to be the toughest task thus far for what Billy Donovan has to do. Izzy, can you hang out here for just a moment? We want to make your top 5 judge.
Okay, fine.
You want to go home? You don't want to be here?
You.
Please?
Okay.
Thank you. David?
I am different than normal. You are different than normal. See ya! He's done it! Home run number 50!
The rookie leader in home runs in Major League history.
Aaron Judge going on a little home run binge here late in the season. So he now has 50 home runs, most ever by a rookie in baseball, and also now the 5th player in Yankees history to hit 50. These other guys pretty good. A-Rod and Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth. So Aaron Judge in some elite company there. And he's also...
Speaking of elite company, there you are, David.
There I am. He's also prompted us to do a top 5.
Did he?
On the greatest rookie seasons across all sports in recorded time.
Okay.
Okay?
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? What do you want to do?
First. I'm going to go with Ichiro here
You
at
always
5.
go first.
I do go first. I set the tone. I set the table, just like Ichiro. 242 hits as a rookie. That's like a hit and a half a game if you play every game. And 56 steals, and he batted .350. He was the MVP, the Rookie of the Year. Number 4, Teemu Selanne. Get Ichiro up there. Where's Teemu?
No.
There he is.
No.
Rookie with the Winnipeg Jets. Carrie, let me tell you something. 76
Tell me
goals.
something.
Let me preach about Teemu Selanne. 76 goals. That's tied for the 5th most for anybody all time. Number 3, your buddy Eric Dickerson.
Okay, that's my pal.
Over 1,800 yards rushing as a rookie. 18 touchdowns, so he's got to be on the list, right?
Yeah.
Number 2. Shoeless Joe Jackson, not Babe Ruth there on the left, but Shoeless Joe on the right. Hit 408 as a rookie.
Archives.
Imagine what he could have done with shoes on. I mean, come on. And finally, number 1, the big fella, the big dipper, Wilt Chamberlain. These are the numbers for the Warriors in 1959. 37.6 points a game, 27 rebounds per game. That's cartoonish. He's a rookie.
Okay, so listen, I got people in my ear. The president has called, and they don't like your list.
Why not?
Because, David, you always got to pull up the archives, the black and the white. You have to show us what you know. I mean, David, listen.
History didn't start 4 years ago, okay?
No, talk to me about it. Bring it in.
Hey.
Bring it. Hello.
You got
Number
Wilt
5
on
for
there.
me. I do have Wilt. You already broke it down for us. Number 4 for me, David, really quickly. I'm going to rush through mine. Eric Dickerson, record still set. 1808.
I know. I've been over this. Keep going.
Oh, okay, my bad. Aaron Judge. We just talked about Aaron Judge.
Yes.
Number 3. I think you missed out, David.
Yeah, he struck out a lot. I mean, he's had a great year. But we're talking all time. Uh-oh.
Look what I did.
What is going on here?
I'm talking bad about you
today.
Night Train Lane. Record still set. 14 picks, never done. Number 1. How could you forget this one? That's disrespectful. Magic?
He was good.
Really?
He was good. Never.
He was great. He was good. He was great.
Did not have him as high up this year.
He won a championship his rookie season. It was the Finals MVP. Are you kidding me? Who does that?
He had an awfully nice campaign. He was really.
You said
really
an awfully nice and good. Is what you say when you talk about Magic?
What do you think? Who's
I mean,
list?
Carrie, I love you, but this is a runaway for David right here.
I'll get out of here.
I mean, how do you not have Ichiro on the list?
Because you know why he wasn't here the whole. I'm talking to him over here, guys. You know why?
Talk to me. Because Magic and number 1 with Magic as a Laker. Come on now, like that's just bias. It's just bias, Carrie. It's bias. Wilt Chamberlain.
Tell it, Izzy.
You had Aaron Judge ahead of Wilt Chamberlain.
Excuse me. Don't disrespect Magic. Everyone here, no one can go to a Laker game here ever. Magic, do you hear this? This is ridiculous.
Aaron Judge struck out 400
where
times.
are we in a world where you say Magic is nice and
Put
good?
him anywhere but one, Carrie. You
Nice
maybe have a chance.
and good, David? That's how you describe Magic? Nice and good?
Izzy said it perfectly, I thought.
Is it
Thank you.
I tend to do that sometimes.